Hi there. Today we're going to explore the plot of the 2025 film Troll 2. A Norwegian scientist accidentally awakens a mountain troll that has been sleeping for centuries. As the giant heads toward the city, seeking revenge for its ancient banishment, humans are forced to seek help from another giant. The events of the film, based on Scandinavian mythology, begin with a Danish fairy tale about how humans and trolls once peacefully coexisted. But when Christianity came to Norway, King Olaf the Holy began persecuting the stone giants while spreading the new faith. Over time, almost all trolls disappeared. This story is told to young Nora Tiedemann by her father. Later, her mother enters the room to soothe her daughter with a lullaby, one that also mentions mythical creatures. 30 years pass. Paleontologist Nora now lives alone in a cabin in the mountain valley where her father once lived. She is visited by an old acquaintance, advisor Andreas. He invites her to come with him and promises to show her something incredible. A helicopter carries them over the picturesque Norwegian mountains to the Vemork hydroelectric power plant. During the Second World War, the Nazis synthesized heavy water there to create an atomic bomb until a raid by the Allies destroyed the facility. According to Andreas, that sabotage was a cover to hide what was truly stored within those walls. For 100 years, Norwegian scientists have been studying a sleeping troll in an underground bunker. They named him Jotun. Even though he was asleep, ultraviolet lamps mimicking sunlight were installed around him for safety, because sunlight turns trolls into stone. Nora meets Marion Radani, curator of the Troll Research Project. She also encounters Siggy, a friend from previous adventures, now pregnant and married to Andreas. The advisor shows the guests a fragment of an ancient document, the original law of Olaf the Holy, which ordered the expulsion of trolls from Norwegian lands. Pretending she needs to use the restroom, Nora takes the elevator to the platform where the troll's face is located. She touches his stone nose and softly hums the lullaby her mother once sang to her. The ancient melody accidentally awakens Jotun. He opens his enormous eye, frightening Nora. Seeing that he is chained, the troll expresses displeasure. A guard prepares to activate the ultraviolet lamps, but Marion asks him to wait. After all, it's not every day one can witness a living troll. When her plea is ignored, she accidentally spills coffee on the control panel, causing the system to fail. The troll breaks the chains and knocks down the elevator cabin with Laura inside. The giant walks through the cave, ignoring the people trying to escape, and smashes an exit to the outside. Seeing the snowy mountain slopes, Jotun turns and walks in a direction known only to him. Everyone involved in the incident heads to a military base by helicopter, where they meet an old acquaintance, Chris Holm, who has been promoted to the rank of major. Together they brief the Prime Minister on the emergency. Another troll has awakened and threatens the country. Marion suggests trying to capture and study him, but politicians order the giant to be neutralized to avoid danger to the population. Major Holm, who already has experience fighting trolls, is appointed head of the operation. Chris holds a briefing for the soldiers. Nora and Andreas persuade him to take them along, and he agrees. In the hangar, where 2 helicopters equipped with ultraviolet lamps are parked, Marion joins the group. Meanwhile, at the Hemsedal ski resort, young people are having fun. Some are skiing down the slopes, others are partying in the club. But suddenly the fun is interrupted by the loud footsteps of Jotun. The troll rips the roof off the building to look inside. While the youngsters film him and take selfies, the ancient creature grabs several careless tourists, putting people in danger. At that moment, 2 helicopters led by Major Holm fly toward the giant. The soldiers switch on the ultraviolet lamps, causing the creature severe irritation all over its body. Unwilling to endure the attack, Jotun rips out a support of the cableway and uses it as a massive whip, damaging one of the helicopters. Chris watches his comrades say their farewells over the radio, realizing the danger of the situation. The damaged helicopter, having lost control, begins to spin uncontrollably and crashes to the ground, exploding on the ski slope. The troll eyes the second helicopter, but Holm, persuaded by Nora, decides to fall back and give the opponent an opportunity to retreat. While the soldiers inspect the crash site and recover the bodies of the fallen, Nora suggests the group head to a place where, in her opinion, they may find the key to stopping Jotun. They return to the Dovrefjell mountain ridge, where their first troll awoke a few years earlier. The paleontologist leads the team deep into the cave from which he once emerged. Upon seeing the massive stakes with mysterious symbols at the bottom of the cave, Nora explains that long ago Olaf the Holy lured the Mountain King troll here by using his own son as bait. Many years passed, and that giant eventually broke free. But his son remained here, forgotten by everyone. The woman taps a fragment of stone left from the previous troll, awakening the giant who had been dozing near the rock, the son of the Mountain King. Nora called him handsome. She explains to her companions that she had long ago established contact with him through an ancient lullaby, the same one her mother sang to her in childhood, and the same melody that awakened Jotun. Meanwhile, Jotun, wandering through the shadows of the high mountains where direct sunlight does not reach, accidentally destroys a family's cabin, the same one that had already suffered from another mythical creature several years ago. Later, in a snowy valley of the Jotunheimen Highlands, Nora fires a signal flare to draw the stone giant's attention, but as soon as Jotun approaches, a camouflaged hansom rises from his snowy hiding place. The giants roar loudly, signaling their intention to determine who is stronger. The confrontation begins when Jotun stomps on the ice beneath them. The ice cracks, the fracture quickly spreads, and handsome plunges into the frigid waters of the mountain lake, not even realizing what happened. The older and more experienced troll outsmarted the younger one. People barely managed to fly away from the enraged Jotun, who now realizes that they were involved in bringing his opponent. Nora watches him depart and gazes sorrowfully at the hole in the ice, all that remains of Handsome. Landing at the nearest base, the group mourns the loss and considers what to do next. Analyzing Jotun's route, they understand that he is following the path of Olaf the Holy, heading straight to Trondheim, the ancient capital of Norway. Nora realizes that the giant wants to avenge the ancient ruler for banishing his people, at the very least by destroying the city he once built. The team heads to Trondheim, where they meet Esther Tiller, the caretaker of the ancient Nidaros Cathedral, beneath which, according to legend, Saint Olaf himself is buried, and from where the church governed the country after his death. They descend into the cathedral's basements, navigating by ancient symbols identical to those in the Mountain King's trap cave. The clues lead the team to a wall depicting Olaf. While examining the fresco, Andreas accidentally removes a small fragment of plaster, but Esther does not scold him. Instead, she notices that the opening appears precisely at the king's abdomen, where he once received a fatal wound. Looking closer, she finds 2 more holes, on the thigh and on the neck, matching Olaf's other injuries. With the 3 technical openings discovered, Nora inserts torch handles into them, using them as levers. Her guess turns out to be correct. The ancient fresco rotates, revealing a concealed doorway to the tomb of the legendary king. Inside, they find a stone sarcophagus, which they open with great respect. Beneath the heavy lid lie the remains of Saint Olaf, who holds a silver sword. Quite unusual, as silver is not a reliable weapon material. Nora also finds, tucked inside the dead king's robes, the second missing piece of the parchment containing the law about trolls. After sending a photo of it to Siggy, the team receives the complete translation of the original text. It turns out that shortly before his death, Olaf realized that trolls had the same right to live in the mountains as humans, and he ordered that they not be harmed. But the Catholic Church disagreed and arranged for the king's removal, then hid part of the document so that the remaining text could be interpreted however they wished. Meanwhile, Jotun continues his destructive march across the country, sowing chaos and panic among civilians. The government issues vague and evasive statements, not wanting to make internal problems public. However, neighboring countries are already prepared to take measures to restrain the potential threat. Authorities order the military to evacuate the residents of Trondheim before the troll arrives. Nora insists that they cannot simply give up. The others agree, ready to confront the creature. As they consider how to stop it, they recall the silver sword of Saint Olaf. Remembering that the only advantage silver has over iron is its resistance to rust, Nora dips a knife into holy water and holds it against a fragment of the previously slain troll. The blade slices through it effortlessly. The group realizes that Olaf used the silver sword together with holy water. Like other Christian symbols, it was highly effective against trolls. People form a human chain and pass water from the underground spring near St. Olaf's grave. The spring, like the righteous man himself, is considered holy. Soldiers use this water to fill grenades and mortar shells. When the sun, dangerous to trolls, disappears beyond the horizon, people wait in the center of the city for the monster to appear. Jotun emerges from the fog and destroys buildings as he approaches. When he halts on the riverbank, Andreas rings the cathedral bells on the major's command, causing the troll pain. Then the soldiers open heavy fire. The holy water-filled shells burn painful wounds into the giant's body. Enduring the agony, Jotun rips out a tree and hurls it at the bell tower. Crossing the river, he follows Holm's planned lure. The major orders the troops to retreat and draw the monster into a trap. On the riverbank stand large tanks filled with holy water, connected to explosives. Their detonation creates a scorching wall of water, but Jotun withstands even this, and the flames quickly die out on his stony skin. People understand that the plan has failed again, but suddenly a deep roar echoes across the river. The second troll, who had met Jotun earlier, returns. A battle erupts between the two giants in the middle of the river, but the defender of humanity loses again. Jotun overpowers him and destroys the bridge. The ancient troll knocks his opponent down, pins him beneath a bridge support, and tries to drown him. Andreas suggests using the last container of holy water, throwing it into Jotun's mouth and detonating it from the inside. For that, he needs pilot Holm's help. Aboard the helicopter, Andreas nearly drops the container but manages to catch it in time. However, the detonator falls and breaks. The only way to activate the explosives now is to detonate a grenade nearby. Andreas realizes he must jump into Jotun's mouth and pull the pin mid-air for the plan to work. He asks the pilot to hover over the creature and calls Sigi to say goodbye. Then he jumps straight down, pulling the pin during the fall. When the troll swallows him, an explosion erupts, and the holy water burns him from within. The final blow is delivered by Crystaly, who has regained consciousness. He tears out the heart of his opponent. Nora, in her remote home, is visited by Chris Holm, Sigi, and the infant daughter of Andreas, who sacrificed himself. Outside in the snowy valley hidden by high mountains from direct sunlight, Crystaly wanders, proving that humans and trolls can coexist peacefully. This is where the film ends. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this recap, give it a like, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.